morning. It's beautiful Friday morning in fantastic Brisbane, Australia. My name's Linda and welcome to this morning's broadcast. It's great to have you with me. If you're here for our replay, let's do a hashtag replay. And today I want to talk to you about having a Heartset. So if you anywhere around the internet at all, you'll see that a lot of the talk at the moment is around mindset. And that's great. Absolutely fantastic work. But if you have mental health challenges, we need to examine our Heartset. Now, what does that mean? All right, so when you think of your heart, what does that signify to you? Does it signify love? Does it signify good feelings? Comment below. But predominantly, I think if you looked over the entire world, the one common thing about our heart is that it signifies the space of love. So when we have anxiety, depression, Ptsd, etc., our mind just goes off on tangents that we don't like. We get triggered. It wants to go down dark alleys. It wants to take us back into old patterns and so on and so forth. So it's a lot of fear-based stuff, yeah? But it's also around, let's face it, there's so much stuff that goes on, we couldn't cover it in this brief segment of time. But what I want to talk to you about is the Heartset. So if we have a Heartset, then we're going to access our love from within. Now, if you're a Christian, then you're going to be looking at the Holy Spirit, okay? If you're another person of a different faith, it'll be another word for you totally. But we want to look at the pure truth within us is love. We are a vessel of love, okay, right down to the core of us. Now, whether that resonates with you or not, doesn't matter. What you want to know is that you want to increase the love from your heart in order that your mind gets on board. That's really the simplest way of putting it. When we acknowledge the fears in our life, so we examine what we're afraid of, okay? And look, some people are afraid just to step out of a box, and that's okay because you're going to acknowledge it. I worked with one lady who was afraid to go out her front door. And look, it's understandable from the amount of trauma that happened in her life that she was afraid to go out the front door. But what we did was work together via online, via phones actually, live video, and we built love into her. We built a slow breathing pattern. And this is what you're doing when you're struggling with mental health challenges. You're going to rebuild or build into you an even better version by discarding the stuff that just doesn't work for you anymore, okay? For me, being fearful or having anything around me that triggers me into fear, I know is not who I am, okay? I know that I am meant to live in a state of love. So I am willing, now they are three of the most powerful words you'll ever say, is because you're stating an intention. I am willing. Now what you add after that, you're setting your intent as to what you're going to do. So if at the moment fear's driving you nuts, okay, and let's face it, when we're crippled with fear, it comes from our head down into our heart, and our heart, if you can feel your heart center, it's like, goes like this. And then if you look at your body, you can actually see your fists and your toes. The first time I felt my toes like this, I was like, my goodness, it's like I'm holding on to earth for grim death. You know, it feels like this fear is so overwhelming and it's going to eat me up from the inside out. But what I learned to do is the breathing's, not only does it slow us down on a physical level, but it gives us the opportunity to feel where we're tight in our muscles, okay? And then I am willing to walk through this fear. I am willing, if you're a Christian, I am willing, actually there's a whole lot you could put, I am willing to be at peace, okay? So whatever emotion or whatever you're willing to do, you want to build that into your heart. Okay, so you want to build the feeling up, and whether it's a feeling of love, a feeling of peace, joy. And if you're a mum, I am willing to be patient. And trust me, when you're a mum, it doesn't matter what age they are. We all need a dose of I am willing to be patient. So build that feeling in. So if I am willing to be patient, then I'm going to build that feeling into my heart, and then it becomes bigger than the fear in my mind, okay? Or it becomes bigger than the frustration in my mind. So we stop our mind from creating our feelings, and we choose our heart set for the day. Now, the big warning label I should put up is it takes time and effort. Okay, if you're not willing to put the time and effort into you, then who is? Okay, you've got to be willing to put the time and effort into you, and I know you can do this. I believe in you. And oftentimes when we've had mental health challenges for some time, depending on whether it's trauma-based, like some people have multi-levels of trauma, some people have only one thing that triggered the trauma, okay? It takes time to be willing to acknowledge what the fear is, to build your heart set up as into what you want to do and how you want to feel. And it takes time for you to retrain your brain to get on board that I am willing to feel X, Y, and Z, what I want today, okay? So if one of mine at the moment would be, I am willing to be focused. Okay, now that might sound funny, but when you're coming through mental health challenges, one of the big battles we have is to be focused, because the mind keeps going off on other tangents. It happens. It just, in our brain keeps wanting us to be safe. So it will run off on different tangents, believing that, oh, if I just do this, if I just do that, oh, I'll do that. And then by the time we get to the end of the day, we've completely forgotten why we took that one step over there to start getting where we wanted. So for me, I have to be, I am focused and feel it. And then my brain will get on board, okay? Now, I want to challenge you to try this and try it every day. Every time you realize that you're not focused, I am willing to be focused. And it gives us that choice too. Am I willing to be focused? Yes, I am. I'm going to build this feeling into me. And do not give yourself a hard time, because it takes a bit longer to get this happening. If you need to, and I've done this, put up what are they called? Anyhow, put up notes everywhere and say, I am willing to be focused, or whatever your I am willing is. Like for a mum, it's I am willing to be patient, and build the feeling into yourself. All right, that's it for today, because it's Friday and I want you to have the most magnificent weekend. And look, because it's the weekend, I want to give you an I am willing. I am willing to rest. Okay? I am willing to rest. Okay? It does take an effort to rest, believe it or not, when you've got mental health challenges, because our brain wants to go off on a gazillion tangents. But you are going to rest and you're going to say, I am willing to rest. Okay. Bless you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in this week. It's been wonderful. I'm hoping to have one of my sons on next week who is challenged with PTSD and anxiety, and so he can share his journey with you about how he's breaking free and coming up and out of it as well. Okay, he's 19 and he's experienced a lot of trauma, and he's willing to share his process with you in the hope that it helps other young adults as well. Okay? Thanks for being with me today, and have a gorgeous weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye for now.